Cheyenne FM and streaming live on the First Federal Facebook page.
It is indeed a beautiful Friday morning, 59 degrees, mostly clear sky, and the sun's starting to come up, and we've got Evan Gottschalk joining us for the First Federal program.
Hi, Paul.
Good morning.
Good morning, Rochester.
How you doing today?
Hey, really good.
You know, normally it's the time of year I got to give you a hard time. You're going to start bringing things with you when you come in. Today you brought a great temperature with you, so I can't pick on you too much.
This is what we want.
Yes.
We can stick with this kind of weather for a while.
Last
It'll be a great early
summer.
pre-fall. That's right. Well, I'm happy to be here. Thanks, Ron. This is almost like a wake-up show now this time of year, too.
Yes, yeah. Because we're getting to the point where we're going to start this thing in the dark.
No, that's exactly right. Well, we're also having a fun event in our Winnemac branch for First Federal today. We continue our Community Appreciation Day September series, we should start calling it. And today we're going to be enjoying lunch for the community in Winnemac. But, you know, this is really for anybody. So if you have an excuse to go over there, maybe this is your excuse to head over to Winnemac. And
yeah.
It's a nice little community. We've been there. That was our second branch, Paul.
Okay.
That was our first location other than Rochester. And the Winnemac community, Pulaski County's always welcomed us with open arms, and we appreciate and are excited to be able to give back to our customers, but also to the community as a whole. We'll be serving lunch from the Winnemac Corner Deli.
Okay.
They've been working with us for a long time over there.
That's worth the trip right there.
It's so good. I just have to say it. They do a great lunch. Really excited about that. Wonderful people there. Also, big highlight, one of my favorites, shred bins.
Hey, gotta love those.
That's right. Well, if anyone's used a at-home shredder, they're horrible.
Yeah.
Everything jams. They fill up in
Yep.
3 seconds. You know, you always wait to get a few stacks of papers to shred, and then it doesn't fit.
Yeah.
You know, it's 100% correct.
So that's just like annoying. But hey, we take all that away off your plate.
Mm-hmm.
You just bring it in, and we'll get it shredded for you.
You can bring boxes and boxes. We'll take care of it.
Yeah, yeah. I know I've talked to some people, hey, what are you doing today? Well, I'll probably spend my whole day just shredding paper. Well, go visit the Winnemac branch for the
Exactly.
Federal Savings Bank today and get it taken care of.
Yeah, and next week is Plymouth.
Yep.
That'll conclude our Community Appreciation Day. But if you missed today in Winnemac, you can head up to Plymouth next Friday.
All right.
Okay. We have a lot of great First Federal giveaways, and Winnemac's going to be raffling off a Blackstone flat top gas grill.
Yes.
For all your griddling needs, or if you like to have people over and grill a lot of meats at one time, you can fit a lot on these things.
Oh,
Yeah.
you sure can.
Yeah, I need to give myself one. I keep telling myself.
Right.
Because everybody that has them loves them.
I know.
So,
I don't have one either, and I think since we've given a few away, I keep thinking, but
Right.
I'm not eligible to win these.
I know,
So what am I going to
I
do,
know,
Tanner?
I know.
I haven't figured that out yet, but I got to solve that because these are great, and I'd
Yep.
like to have one myself.
yep.
Yeah.
Christmas list.
There you go.
There
You just thought of it. Okay.
We are in the last quarter of the year. So
That's
it's
right,
time
yeah.
to start thinking
Yeah.
about that.
Sometimes we have to coach our families a little bit too. This may be the only thing on the Christmas list, and then we'll see.
And you'll get everything else that I'm looking forward to. And no grill.
That's right. Paul knows the routine.
Yep.
Okay, what about some trivia? Let's do some trivia, Tanner.
Yeah, so I'm going to put one of my tidbits in with the trivia today.
Okay.
So on this day, 1862, Abraham Lincoln, who was the 16th President of the United States,
Yep.
he issued the Emancipation Proclamation.
Okay.
So my question for you, Paul, is where was Abraham Lincoln born?
Okay.
I'll give you 4 state choices.
Do you want choices?
Or do you even want choices?
Well, I know the state,
Oh, well,
but if you've got city, that'd make it a little harder.
I do know the city. I don't have other.
Okay.
I don't have other options for the city.
Okay. Well, I know the state.
But we do have a backup trivia.
Yeah, why don't you tell us what you think it is, and we'll move to question number 2.
Illinois.
No,
Really?
Kentucky.
Ah,
was live in Indiana, then moved to Illinois.
Oh.
So they lived in all three. And the town was called Sinking Spring Farm, Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
There might have been one family that lived there.
Yes.
My teacher's.
Yeah.
Well, he
That
did.
was Rochester schools that I attended.
He did represent Illinois.
He did.
So
and
that's
the land of Lincoln's.
that's
Yeah.
why.
For
That's
Illinois,
why we all
so
think that.
little curveball
Yeah,
there.
alright.
All right, let's try another one, Paul.
Yeah. Okay.
That one
Yeah.
wasn't even fair. We didn't give you choices. See how we did that?
Yeah.
We gave him an out on that.
I went in too confident there.
Which U.S. president? We like this topic.
Yeah. You know where my weak spot is.
Which U.S. president gets credit for preserving the Grand Canyon, one of the 7 natural wonders of the world?
Okay.
And by preserving, I mean they took it over as a U.S. ground that they would maintain and turn into a park. Okay. A. Theodore Roosevelt. B. William McKinley. C. Franklin D. Roosevelt. Or D. William Taft.
Alright. Now that one I'm going to have to think about.
We'll give you time on that one.
Yeah.
See what we do for you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Trickery, Tam.
Yeah.
Okay.
We like it.
What about sports?
Oh, plenty of sports to go over today.
Great time of year.
You know, great time of year. Of course, some fall sports are starting to get towards the end. Tennis is, I think, wrapping up in a week or two.
I believe so.
Girls golf, I know the Lady Zebras have regionals tomorrow, so good luck to them. Volleyball, not sure when postseason starts, but it's, I think October. In football, we are now 5 games in the season. So
Yes.
Wow, that went fast.
yes, starting to get towards the end of the regular season here, but a big matchup for the Zebras tonight. They are 4-1 after beating Lewis Cass last week. They traveled to TRC foe Peru tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Peru Tigers are undefeated with a 5-0 record. So this game's pretty much whoever wins this most likely is going to be the champion of the TRC this year.
Yes.
Golden Black versus
Golden Black versus Golden Black. Yep. When I was in high school, we would play Peru every year, but that's before we were conference opponents. They were still on the outside of the TRC. I don't remember what conference they were in, but we played them every year. What time's pregame?
6:30.
6:30. 6:30 tonight. So make sure if you can't make it down to Peru, you can listen to it right here on WRY.
Yes, you can.
Tupelo Valley improved to 5-0 last week. They host Jimtown tonight, who's 2-3. Caston is still looking for their first win of the season. They travel to North White, who is undefeated, 5-0 on the season. And Culver and Winnemac are both looking for their first win of the season, but they play each other tonight.
Hey.
So somebody's coming
gotta have
out
a win.
victorious there. So
No, that'll be fun.
yeah, so good luck to everybody that's participating in football games tonight. It'll be a great night for them. Great night.
Yes, it will be.
Well, there's also a college football game being played in the state of Indiana tonight. Purdue is hosting Wisconsin tonight.
I didn't know that.
Yes. 7 o'clock on Fox Sports 1. Wisconsin is a 5.5-point favorite. Wisconsin's coming off a win over Georgia Southern last week, so they're 2-1. Purdue's coming off a loss to Syracuse, so they're 1-2. And this is the worst opponent for Purdue out of the opponents.
I was thinking this sounded like a good opportunity. They're the
This
underdog.
might be the chance to finally get
Yeah.
that. Purdue has not beaten Wisconsin since 2003. It's been
Okay.
20 years. They haven't beat them at home since 1997.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah. So it's they're due, I
Yeah.
guess, but they've just never matched up very well.
You sound skeptical,
I
so
know.
we're gonna
It's one of those things.
try to lift you up here.
I'll believe when I see it.
Yeah,
It's one of
good.
those things.
Okay.
But looking forward to that tonight. So a lot of football going on tonight on Friday night. And of course, Notre Dame and Indiana both in action tomorrow. Notre Dame is the college game of the weekend that's happening up in South Bend. Number 9 Notre Dame 4-0 hosting number 6 3-0 Ohio State. That game's at 7:30 on NBC. Ohio State is a 3-point favorite. On their own. Kind of surprised me a little bit.
Me too.
But
Yeah,
that should be a really good game.
I think so. Tune in.
In Indiana, 1-2 had a hard-fought loss to Louisville and Lucas Oil last week. They host 1-2 Akron. That's tomorrow night at 7:30 on the Big Ten Network. Indiana's a 17-point favorite.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, not a lot of faith in the Zips, I guess, for the betting lines out there. In NFL action, the Colts got their first win of the season last week over the Texans, but Their rookie quarterback, Anthony Richardson, got banged up with a concussion. I'm not sure about his status going into Sunday's game.
He's been kind of a delight to watch.
Yeah,
so far.
he's an exciting player. It's going to be hard for the Colts either way, with or without him this weekend. I think traveling to Baltimore to face the Ravens for 2-0. That game's at 1 o'clock on CBS, also right here on WROI. Pre-game, game itself, and post-game. Ravens are 8-point favorites. And the Chicago Bears looking for their first win of the season. They're off their 0-2 start. They traveled to Arrowhead Stadium to play the Kansas City Chiefs, who are 1-1, but the Chiefs are 12.5-point favorites, which is pretty large for the NFL. That game's at 4:25 on Fox. So no conflict this week between the Colts and the Bears with the same time, same channel.
Nope, that's a good thing.
So,
but you can still just listen to it. It's better that way.
Yeah. Got some tidbits here this morning, Paul. These all are kind of in relation because they're all TV shows this week debuting.
Okay.
On this day in 1976, Charlie's Angels debuted. The
Good
TV
show.
series, of course.
Yeah.
On this day in 1982, Family Ties premiered on NBC.
That's a show I've never seen.
I don't think I have either.
Wow.
Michael J. Fox, I believe. On this day in 1987, Full House debuted.
Okay.
Still, reruns are still on of that show today. On this day in 1989, Baywatch debuted on NBC.
All right.
On this day in 1994, Friends debuted on NBC.
Hey.
Still going strong today with the reruns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On this day in 1998, The West Wing debuted on NBC.
It was kind of a groundbreaking show.
Yeah,
I
it
think.
was. On this day in 2003, 2.5 Men premiered.
It's a long time ago.
That way, yep. And then they had Charlie Sheen went off, and Ashton Kutcher came on to kind of finish the series out. And on this day in 2004, Lost debuted on ABC.
Another groundbreaker.
You need to see that. My wife and I, a few months ago, we had both seen it when it originally came out, but hadn't seen it for years. We went back and rewatched it. It took a couple of months because there were 6 seasons.
Yeah.
In the first 3 or 4 seasons, there's like 20 episodes per season. But it's a fascinating show.
All right.
Really well written. So. And a lot of days today. Paul, today's International Astronomy Day. It's also Native American Day, National White Chocolate Day, Hobbit Day, as in the book,
Yeah.
The Hobbit, National Elephant Appreciation Day, Love Note Day, National Doodle Day, as in doodling with a pen or a pencil, not the
Do you
dollar.
do that when you're on the phone?
I do occasionally, yes.
Gotta be paying attention.
Well, my brain's working in multiple ways.
You're a savant, that's why.
Business Women's Day, that's always a good one. World Carefree Day, that should say. I have a typo there. Hug a Vegetarian Day. National Ice Cream Cone Day.
Love that.
Dear Diary Day. World Rhino Day. And Chain Mail Day.
Alright, years from now, will any of your descendants find a diary of yours and read some of your thoughts? Just be honest.
Not mine.
They might.
Oh, big question mark there.
Yeah.
I love
like
that.
the journal.
I think
Okay.
I had a journal in 4th grade. We had to for a class, but I don't think I've done one since.
Was it on the computer or?
No, it was.
Okay, I'm just asking.
It was on the pencil and paper.
Alright. Well, that might be a hobby you should consider, Tanner.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Never too late. Got some upcoming events. The Times Theater's got a lot going on this weekend. Tonight they're showing Fiddler on the Roof at 7 p.m.
Such a good movie.
Tickets are
Yeah, that
$5
is.
for that.
That's kind of an underrated movie.
Yes.
It is. It really is. Then tomorrow they got their Saturday morning matinee at 11. It's Puss in Boots.
Okay.
And then tomorrow night, this is a real exciting one. The Empire Strikes Back.
Ah,
Will be
yeah.
shown
Oh,
at
man.
7 p.m. tomorrow night. So that's my favorite Star Wars movie.
Yes.
I like how they played A New Hope and then they kind of waited a while,
Uh-huh.
let the tension build.
Yep.
When are they going to show the second one? So,
And now the tension's going to build when they get to show Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
that's great. Okay, and then I also had a note, the Kiwanis Fall Festival's this weekend.
Yes.
Yes,
right.
right.
We run a great festival down there, draws in a lot of people, and really family-oriented festival that's low cost, lots of fun.
Yep. We had Ashley Van Lake on last week, and the festival starts tonight and runs through Sunday.
That's right. So
Yeah.
that's always fun.
Yep.
Great time of year too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of pegged a good weekend.
Oh, yes, they did.
Usually for that. I went once and it was raining, but I think that's only happened once. That's not going to happen this
We'll
week.
blame Paul for that. He's
Sounds
supposed to be
like
in charge of the weather.
Well, I think that was the first year we were out there broadcasting and set up in the rain.
Well, you got to get it over with.
Yeah.
Get it out of your system. So, okay, money news this week. The Dow Jones is down. You probably already knew that, Paul. Down 1.5% or so for the week. You know, the markets still don't know what to make of the economy. I mean, it's still actually going pretty well. And it's almost like it's defying the odds of what the Federal Reserve's trying to do with interest rates, of
Yes.
kind of kicking it back a little bit and playing catch up. But the economy's not really cooperating, so
No,
it's kind of
not.
confusing, I think, out there, which gives us a little bit of volatility from week to week. So who knows with what's going on with those markets. And the Federal Reserve did have a big meeting this week. I think this would play into it. They meet every 6 weeks or so to decide what they think they should do with the one overnight interest rate they control. And they decided not to do anything with it this week. So that meant some other rates that are based off of that didn't really change either. So that's probably a fair thing. Just wait and see how this uncertainty plays out a little bit. So
Yeah.
we'll give it another 6 weeks and see what they do then. And in the meantime, we're grateful for great employment. If you want to find a job, you can find one right now.
Oh, yeah.
So it's been like that for a little while. Lots of job openings. I think there's about twice as many job openings as people looking for work. So
Yes.
that's favorable for those that are wanting to work hard and get going. So we'll take that as our positive for the weekend.
I like it.
All right. Thinking about First Federal today, we're still offering a great 10-month CD at 5.10% APY. We've had a lot of folks interested in that term and rate. It seemed to be a great combination of what folks are looking for. You can promise to keep it with the bank for 10 months, and we'll for that promise, we'll give you 5.1%, and that's worked out really, really well. We also have a couple of great mortgage home loan purchase specials going on through the end of October. We've got a fall purchase special that's all fixed rate sellable loans, disclosed from now through October 31st, receive a lender credit. And we've done this a couple times this year. It's been really popular. You can get a credit of $750 on your closing costs for loans of $200,000 or less, or $1,250 lender credit for loans above $200,000. That's big dollars that we're helping hopefully stimulate the housing market, which is kind of in a slower time right now. So this could be a good incentive for somebody that really has been wanting to move into a new house, or maybe even just continue looking around. Maybe get a pre-qualification right now. We don't charge for those.
Yep.
And get prepared for when that house comes up that maybe you want to act on. And if it's before October 31st, you'll save some money. We also have a construction loan special. Speaking of not being able to find a house, maybe you need to look at building one.
Right.
And we've got a couple different programs there. We have an adjustable rate loan and a fixed rate loan, and we can help you with those. You'll need to speak to one of our loan originators to get more details on that, but we're trying to make those very attractive now too, just knowing there's not a lot out there on the market, so
Yeah.
it might be a good time to build, and we're experts at that as well. All right, we are the only locally owned bank in Fulton County. We're very proud of that. We don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best. Our founder, Dick Belcher, coined that phrase, and we still live by that today. We really love that. Borrowers must meet underwriting guidelines. We're FDIC insured and an equal housing lender. Our NMLS number is 399927.
And that makes us legal.
And that also means we're ready to welcome our esteemed guest this morning, frequent flyer. We're welcome to have you back, Mary Kay. Mary's the Executive Director of the Compassionate Health Center. Welcome.
Thanks so much, Ed. Thanks for having me here this morning.
Well, you've been involved with this organization here locally for quite some time. Why don't you give us a little background on that, Mary?
Yes, I've been here for 10 years as the director of a compassionate health center, and it's really been an amazing job. I love what I do. I always say it's a great gig for an old gal.
10 years is a good long time,
It
too.
is. I've spent my whole life in healthcare, so it's just really a great way for me to give back to the community and a great organization. I think people really take healthcare insurance for granted, and it is not something that is available to everybody. So I think that's where we fill that unique niche. If you've seen one free health clinic, you've seen one free health clinic. We're all kind of different.
Okay, I didn't know that.
A lot are a sliding scale, but we are truly free, totally free for the patient. We run just like a doctor's office. We're not a walk-in clinic,
Okay.
but we run like a doctor's office. Appointments prearranged, and then there's just no charge. And in addition to medical, which is our primary focus,
Okay.
we also offer dental through the local dentist that we pay for through a grant from Real Services.
That's wonderful.
That is one of our biggest programs. Many people come to us for dental. We don't take you just for dental. You have to come as no insurance. You can't have any sort of insurance at all.
Okay.
No Medicaid, no Medicare. But dental is a huge issue for people. Very expensive, and so we are able to spend about $15,000 on dental for our patients every year.
That's amazing. I think about not only being expensive, but it's something that if you're making hard choices on spending dollars, you don't consider it maybe life-threatening, so you put it off. But it can eventually become life-threatening.
A mouthful of rotting teeth does not bode well for your medical health. So we do eye care also with Family Eye Care, and then we work with Akron Lions. They help us to buy glasses for our patients, and we network with 4C Health and Notre Dame. Plug for Notre Dame. We take doctoral students who do in-house mental health counseling for our patients at no cost also. And then medications are huge. We get medicine for our patients at no cost or very low cost. And the last couple of years we've been so excited that through some ARP funds from the county, we've been able to get the Abbott Libre sensors for our diabetics. And just this last week, one of our diabetics said that her sensor alarmed her on her phone during the night that her blood sugar had dropped really low. And so she knew to get up and have a little orange juice with sugar. Now, when would she get up at 2 in the morning to do a finger stick?
No.
Right.
So these sensors they're really amazing. Coming into the market more and more, you see a lot of advertisements on TV.
I have.
We're able to do that for our patients at no cost. So we feel like we do an all-inclusive program for our
You
patients.
think about just what a better level of information and care that particular system is versus the, I have to decide when I'm feeling to do something about it. Well, what you've just described sounds almost too good to be true, because almost everything you said was the word free, which in our business world, you don't really get to say that too often in advertising, because it's not often very likely to be very true. But in your case, it is.
It is, and I think right now we're struggling to understand why we don't have more patients. There are statistically 11% of Fulton County uninsured medically. So we should have a lot more patients.
That's
than we
right.
do. So I think there are some, first, people that don't know about us. So that's why I'm here this morning again, to make sure people know about us. And we are at 740 North State Road 25, right by Dr. Fritz and Dr. Lazinski's building. We're at the north end of that.
Okay, that's easy to find.
Easy to find us. And then I think there's also a misconception that if they're working, they couldn't qualify. And right now, 69% of our patients are working. They're just not able to afford insurance.
Okay. So is it because maybe their company isn't providing it for them, that particular...
Under 30 employees,
Okay.
it does not have to be offered. So
We probably have several of those in the county.
self-employed people, I'm earning money, so I couldn't go there. Not true. We do take pretty generous financial situation at home, we take those patients. So, and I'm begging employers, if you can't afford, your small business, you can't afford that insurance providing for your employees, call us. We're glad to come to your company, talk to you about your 4 or 5 employees and what we might do for them and their families.
Well, that's a great outreach. Well, I'm surprised you haven't seen more, because I don't know what exactly the population of Fulton County, but 11%. That's a bigger number.
20,000 is our population.
Okay, so 2,200.
Yeah. Where are they?
That's incredible. Well, hopefully this morning some folks are listening and we're catching their ear on an opportunity. With inflation being a little bit higher, we're experiencing some of the effects. We're seeing some of the effects of that in the banking industry with customers' accounts. Sure. average amount in their account lowering over time. Everything's more expensive right now.
Absolutely.
Household budgets are tightening, and you're having to make some choices potentially, even if you are working. So this is a wonderful opportunity. Don't just assume that you can't get health care somewhere because you've got a job but they're not offering it there. You need to call Mary.
Another stat that I think is kind of staggering. January 1st of this year, 1 in 4 Americans across the country were on Medicaid. 1 in 4. And so obviously our system can't sustain that.
Yeah.
And during COVID, there was no reapplication. So April of this year, all the states started to look at that again.
I remember seeing some headlines about that.
In April, 53,000 Hoosiers lost their Medicaid. So we know that affected some people here in Fulton County.
That's right.
So again, we're wondering, why we haven't seen a big influx of people losing Medicaid. We'd love to take them. So again, like you mentioned, I think, you say unemployment is so low right now, they can get a job, but that job just probably isn't enough to sustain gas and rent and food and healthcare insurance.
One of the highest gas is obviously, we all see how much that's increased. That affects absolutely everybody. But also, you said rent or housing expense, that's gone up tremendously over the last couple of years, and really biting into a household budget. It used to be about 30% of a household budget would go to housing expense, and now it's over 40%. So it's increased that much just in this last couple of years. So just another reason to be thinking about, okay, how can I get health care? You don't want to put your family in a position where for some reason you haven't been taking care of yourself, couldn't afford to do proactive things or get checkups in your mind, and then something catastrophic happens to you and you leave behind a family.
And you bring up a good point, because so many of our patients that we see do come in with really serious health conditions, and they just come to the end of the road. They just realize, I can't do this on my own, I need some help. So either the hospital sends them our way, or someone tells them about us, and we do our best to help. But we'd like to see you when you're well. We'd like to not wait till you're that ill.
Yeah.
And you might say, well, how do we do all this for free? We have a very, very generous community. First Federal's one of the most generous to us, so we're so appreciative of that. The hospital still supports us in a tremendous fashion, so we're so grateful. Why would they do that? Last year, 70 of our patients told us, 70 times, we were told that patient would have gone to the emergency room if we wouldn't have been open. Wow. So that's a huge thing for the hospital, to feel like we're helping to stop that. Yeah. Now, there's a lot more ways to obtain medical care in our community now, with fast-paced opening. Dr. Salt and Dr. Sitar now have sort of a cost-based situation for healthcare, and then all the Woodlawn providers. So we're lucky in a small community we have that great medical community, but there still are people that can't afford it. So,
well, what you're talking about is kind of a whole collection, a basket of care. Then there's going to be different people needing to go different places, and it sounds like the Compassionate Health Center is fulfilling an area where people would just kind of fall through the cracks otherwise.
Absolutely.
Yes. What a great mission.
Yes. So we're here to help. We're grateful. The City Council just made an appropriation to us, and it put us as a line item on their budget for next year, which is exciting news for us.
Congratulations, Mary.
Yes, that's really exciting. We just received another grant from St. Joseph's Catholic Church, which is great. So money comes into us, we just kind of put that in God's hands. We say, we'll take care of the sick people. You find some way to get us some money to keep going.
It'll come when it's needed, I guess.
It does. So
that's wonderful to hear. Well, give us a couple of ideas for our listeners today, and then the people that our listeners know. What's the best way to kind of, if someone wants to talk before they come in, what would that look like? How do they get a hold of you or gather more information?
We are open from 9 to 4 on Monday through Thursday.
Okay.
And just stop any time during that time. Our phone number is 574-223-6080, so you can give us a call. We get a lot of calls, and I think it's troubling when someone calls and seems to be dire, and then they don't come see us.
Yeah.
So follow up with that. We're still here, so just because we couldn't see you that particular moment, don't give up. Come and see us. We'll get you enrolled, get you seen by our provider, and take care of you.
We really appreciate what you're doing in this community for the patients that you have, and we'd love to see other individuals or families that could be using free health care. I'd say it again, free health care if you're not getting the insurance through your employers. You really need to see Mary and her team at the Compassionate Health Center for the services that they're there to provide to you. I really appreciate you coming on and help grow the awareness of this, and that's something we could all take on, is just remembering to share that with the network of people that we interact with and the friends that we have. Make sure that information is getting passed around.
Absolutely.
So that it can be impactful. The services are right here in our community, ready to be used.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, we appreciate having you on, Mary. Thank you so much for coming back on. You're welcome to chime in on our trivia question if you like.
Yeah, please, I'll take that.
Which U.S. president gets credit for preserving the Grand Canyon, one of the 7 natural wonders of the world? Is it Theodore Roosevelt, William McKinley, Franklin Roosevelt, or William Taft?
I think it's Theodore Roosevelt.
Paul?
That's the one I'm leaning to.
Okay, you guys are both correct. Redemption for Paul, and a great answer for Mary. Yes, he was kind of the father of some of our national park system, and kind of during his terms of president did a lot as a naturalist. That was something he was really passionate about, was nature and preserving that. So we're all appreciative of that. Now we're going to have some words of wisdom from Theodore Roosevelt.
All right.
Not coincidental. Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care.
I like those.
Yeah.
They're very fitting for today's topic.
I think so too.
Yes, absolutely.
Thanks again, Mary.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, Evan. We'll see you guys again next week.
All right.